John 10 and verse 10. The thief cometh not but to steal and to kill and destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. All praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Wakakadash. Double honor to the apostle of great millstone that teach us this truth. Much love and appreciation to all the Akim elders preaching the truth and sincerity out there. Shalom to the hopefully elect, which are the Negroes, Latinos, and the natives, the one that have the history that they've been conquered by the devil, that they've been conquered, they've been enslaved by them devils. Let's maybe go with another. Yeah. Okay, let's go with this one right here. See? They paint themselves as they're God, as they're godly, right? See this image there on top? Michelangelo painting himself as God and stuff. Right? They paint themselves as godly, but no, they're devils. They're devils. Anybody who doesn't know that, roll with the agenda and love them. Love the devil. Right? So let's go with I was watching this video there, so why Haiti is dying and the Dominican Republic is booming. Let's see what it says.
Some of the factors that explain this difference today are historical reasons, but they don't explain the whole picture. You see, the island that they both exist on, Hispaniola, was initially colonized by the Spanish, but it was first legally divided in 1697 by the Treaty of Ryswick that formally established a Spanish colony in the eastern two-thirds of the island and a French colony in the western third, though the borders between them were slightly different than they are today. From the very beginning of this division of the island, though, the French and the Spanish treated their separate colonies on either side radically differently. The Spanish ended up pursuing a policy that was more focused on settler colonialism over on their side, with more limited amounts of slavery by the standards of the time. By the end of the 18th century, the modern Dominican Republic, still under Spanish colonial rule, only had a population of about 104,000 people, only 30,000 of whom were enslaved people from Africa. And meanwhile, the French over on their side of the island treated things extremely different. They pursued a policy of historically enormous exploitation, the likes of which have hardly ever been seen before or since. It's estimated that across the 18th century alone, the French forcibly transported approximately 800,000 Africans from their continent to modern-day Haiti as slaves, a figure that represents nearly double the number of African slaves brought to the entire North American continent during the entirety of the North Atlantic slave trade. By 1789, on the eve of the French Revolution, it's estimated that Haiti's population was around 556,000 people, which was a little more than 5 times the total population of the neighboring Spanish colonial Dominican Republic. But only 32,000 of the people who lived in Haiti at that time were European whites. There were an additional 24,000 freed people of color, and an estimated 500,000 Africans and their descendants bound in the chains of slavery, outnumbering their white colonial masters by a ratio of nearly 16 to 1. France used all of these slaves as their labor source to work across the vast sugar and coffee plantations that they set up all across the island, which for a time made Haiti the most lucrative and financially valuable colony in the entire world, for the people who actually dominated it so ruthlessly. By 1789, roughly half of all the sugar and coffee that was being consumed in Europe came from the slave plantations of Haiti, and they helped to make the French kingdom the wealthiest in Europe at the time. Haiti would also become independent decades before the Dominican Republic would, and through far more violent circumstances. In the midst of the chaos of the French Revolution, the slaves of Haiti, who vastly outnumbered their colonial masters, rose up in a violent revolution of their own in 1791. Across the next 13 years, both the Haitian slaves and the colonial French engaged in a brutal genocidal war of annihilation against the other, wherein an estimated 200,000 Haitians would die, and virtually the entire colonial white population of Haiti would be either killed themselves or driven out of the country never to return. By 1804, the French had given up and retreated from their former colony, but they, along with the vast majority of the rest of the outside world, continued refusing to recognize Haiti's independence for decades. And although Haiti had paid dearly with blood for their sovereignty between 1791 and 1804, they weren't finished paying for their sovereignty with treasure yet, and they wouldn't be for a very long time. In 1825, French warships showed up outside the Haitian capital, Port-au-Prince. They gave the Haitians only two options. One, they could accept a deal in which France would finally recognize Haiti's independence in exchange for Haiti agreeing to financially compensate France for their loss of property experienced during the Haitian Revolution, including France's loss of their hundreds of thousands of former slaves, which France asserted was 150 million francs. Haiti could either accept this backwards deal or refuse and take option 2, war, and then the French warships sitting in the harbor would simply blow up everything they could in Port-au-Prince. With a gun pointed to their head, Haiti selected option 1 and agreed to pay their former colonial slave masters for their own freedom that they had already paid for with blood.
See, these devils, they never change. The same way that they killed the last president of Haiti not too long ago. It's exactly the same thing they did right there back then. See, gun pointed at their head. That either they killed, they genocide them, kill them all with their guns, and because they shall live by their sword. But remember, who live by the sword shall die by the sword, right? Or they pay, I don't know, was it what, 21 billion, dollars, because that's what it comes down to, 21 billion dollars of debt that they gave them, and at some point it was a double debt. Because anyways, do me a favor, just watch that program yourself, and then you'll see how bad the devil is, right? And then you see down there they say, 24 hours inside Haiti's capital city, extremely dangerous. But you see, but who put that danger there? It's them, right? Because there was that president. There was also another president, Aristide. Aristide, that was he demanded reparation because of that debt, from the French people. And what did they do? I think they did a coup on him. They did a coup d'état on him, and all of a sudden they came with if you listen to this program, it'll tell you that documentary tells you that. And then they basically came, invade the country, and then they came with as much artillery that they could, and they tell them, you know what, it's either you leave or we just kill you and your family. The devil never change. Never change. And then, but the good thing is that the Dominican did not suffer as much as the Haitians, because they didn't do as much revolution. Oh yeah, you'll see here.
Gaulle in 2003 to become the first, and so far only, leader in Haiti's entire history to formally demand that reparations be paid to Haiti from France over the indemnity and the double debt that they had forced upon them all the way back in 1825. Aristide demanded that France pay Haiti nothing less than $21 billion in reparations, a figure that was at the time more than 4 times greater than the entire Haitian GDP. Within only months of him making this demand, far-right paramilitary rebels in Haiti Right, paramilitary rebels in Haiti began launching an extremely successful rebellion in the country. And some of these rebels had allegedly received previous training from U.S. Special Forces. By February of 2004, these rebels had captured Haiti's fourth and second largest cities, and they were beginning to lay siege to the capital, Port-au-Prince. As the rebels began breaking
So who made those gangs? Who trained
into and sacking the capital on the 29th?
Who trained those gangs in Haiti? Now you got your answer. You got your answer. Those devils are behind everything.
Of February, diplomatic security service officers from the United States arrived at the Haitian presidential palace, and what followed next between them is unclear and deeply controversial. According to most American government officials, Aristide chose to then voluntarily resign as Haiti's president and wanted to escape from the country as the rebels broke into the capital. He allegedly agreed to be transferred to Haiti's primary airport, escorted by U.S. security personnel, where he then boarded a plane and was flown directly to the Central African Republic to live a new life in exile. However, there are tons of conflicting accounts as to what exactly happened. According to Aristide himself, the American officials who came to him on that morning pressured him into immediately resigning, saying that if he didn't, the rebels would break into the palace and murder him and his entire family. Aristide claimed that he was forced to resign, then kidnapped by American forces, taken at gunpoint to the airport, and then flown out without any knowledge of where he was actually going, where the French managed to convince the Central African Republic to accept him live on the plane as the events were continuing to happen, where he was then forcibly flown into exile against his will. These allegations.
See? Jeremiah 4, verse 30. And when thou art spoiled, what will we do? What will you do? Right? Though thou clothed thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with painting, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Thy lovers will despise thee, they will seek thy life. That's what's gonna happen to them. You know, all the wickedness they've done, it has a consequences, right? It does have a consequences, but to the devil, they take that note, nothing's gonna happen because of the pride of their heart. Jeremiah 4, verse 31. For I have heard a voice as of a woman in travail, in the anguish as of her that bringeth forth her first child. The voice of the daughter of Zion that bewailed herself, that spreaded her hands, saying, Woe is me now, for my soul is worried because of murderers. Because of murderers. All the stuff that they've been doing, they've been murdering. The daughter of Zion, Haitians, the tribe of Levi, saying that, right? Woe is me now, for my soul is worried because of murderers. Yes, that's what's happening. But they just don't understand that, they will get it, right? They will get what they're looking for, right? Thy lovers will despise thee, and they will seek thy life. That's what's coming for them. All those Edomites ruling the world, when the wicked is in authority, the people mourn. But when the righteous bear rule, the people rejoice. Job 9:24, right? The world is giving unto the hands of the wicked. They covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? It's them. It is them. That's why they go everywhere. They steal land. They do everything they want to do. Micah 2 verse 2. And they covet field and take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. That's what they do. So the Levite went into that whole process. All the nation of Israel, like the native Gadites, them too, they went into that whole process. You know, the Latinos, right? The Northern Kingdom, they went into that process also. But the Asians, they went really hard in, you know, like in that process, and also Judah, you know, the one that they call African American, they went really hard into that process, you know. But it is what it is, you know, because we disobeyed the way of the Lord, and that's why we go into that that whole process of slavery, that whole process of shame, right? 2 Corinthians 10 verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to pulling down the strongholds, right? That's what it is, right? That's what it is. Because all of this, the work that the prophets are doing is to pull down all the strongholds, right? 2 Corinthians 10 verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the pulling down of strongholds, right? That's what it is, right? Because all the lies, because they're gonna say, oh, it's the gangs in Haiti that's doing all the problems and stuff, and it's you know, but they train the gangs. You're gonna say, oh, it's the it's the earthquakes, the hurricane, but you know, they have machines to modify the weather to do it. You know, it's still through the power of Yahweh Bashem Rashai, whatever they do, but still, right? They're gonna say, oh, there's so much corruption in the government and stuff. Yeah, but you take down government and then you put the whoever that's corrupt for yourself. And then they're gonna say, oh, it's the corrupt government, see? But every good thing comes to an end somehow, right? Habakkuk 2 verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and unto thee, and shameful swearing shall be on thy glory. That's not really what I'm looking for, right? So they will be filled with shameful glory, really, right? Okay. Hosea 4 verse 7. As they were increased, so they sin against me. Therefore, I will change their glory into shame. So that's what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai did unto his nation, because we sinned against him. We sinned against Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's the problem, right? Let me read it again. Habakkuk 2 verse 16. Thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spreading shall be on thy glory. That's what's on them. That's what's going to that's what's happening, slowly but surely, right? For the violence, no, that's right? That's what's coming unto them. Doesn't matter if they believe it, they don't believe it. The time will tell. Time will tell. And the words of Yahweh Bashem Yashai will never come back to him void. He does all he has to do in due time. In due time. That's why, me personally, I don't push anything too hard in life, because things comes with their time, their due time. If something doesn't happen, you want it to happen, but it doesn't happen, and you're doing, your all your effort and stuff to so it happen, and it's not happening, don't push it. It's maybe a way Yahweh Bashem Rasha is telling you, just work your patience, be more patient. That's all. Revelation 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the habitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is coming down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time. Yeah, their time is coming to an end. Their time is coming to an end. Doesn't matter if they believe it, they don't believe it. Their incredulity will not make the word of the Lord not come to effect. Their incredulity is not going to have no effect on the prophecies, on the word of the prophets, on the word of the apostles, the elders, which are inspired by the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua himself. No one can stop the prophecies. And all the changes that we see in the world is telling us something is coming. Isaiah 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Lucifer just means, the illuminated one, right? Son of morning. How thou art cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nation, right? They weakened the nation. Well, they weakened Haiti. And if you listen to the program, you're gonna see they even weakened the weakened Dominican Republic, but not as much, not to the level as they did to the Haitians, not at all. But nevertheless, time will come that they will pay. And just like the scripture says, thy lovers shall try to seek your life, the one that are peace with thee. Right? Kahalo Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Wakakodash. Bakata Yahweh, Bakata Yahushai, Kahalo Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Wakakodash. Hopefully this lesson has been edifying. All praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Wakakodash. Double on to the apostle of great millstone that teaches the truth. Much love and appreciation to all that came down between the truth and sincerity out there. Shalom to the hopefully elect.